Welcome back. You're watching the special demonetization town hall right here on India Today, and I want to introduce now a very special guest. A guest who I assume hasn't had much sleep over the last 10 days. Chairperson of India's biggest bank, the State Bank of India, Arundhati Bhattacharya, is joining us live on India Today. Ma'am, welcome. We've got lots of Aam Admis here. There's some Khas Admis. They don't like to call themselves Khas Admis. They're also joining us, experts as well. All of them have questions. I will take the first question. We're seeing these huge queues, Ms. Bhattacharya, still outside the SBI, all other public banks as well. As the person who runs India's biggest bank, the only question people have in their minds is, by when do you believe the situation will go back to normal? When will life go back to normal, ma'am?
I think, they are definitely reverting slowly back to normal. Today, if I look at the numbers that I got up to 5 p.m., the numbers are far less than what they were in the earlier days. Not only that, if I look at the last 24 hours, the number of ATM transactions I used to do on an average day was 75 lakhs. In the last 24 hours, we have achieved 73 lakhs. So we are very close to, coming up to the average at least. Of course, in some pockets there may still be long queues, but overall, if you look at the city today, definitely it looks much more like a normal day.
I will take some questions from the public as well as from my colleagues. I want to start with Rajiv, the managing editor of Business Today magazine. Go ahead, please.
Ms. Bhattacharya, I want to ask a very simple question. As far as demand and supply is concerned within your bank, how short are you on supply of 500 rupee notes as far as RBI is concerned?
So at this point of time, 500 rupee notes are definitely in short supply, because as you know, this denomination has been changed and is currently getting printed. As and when the supply is coming from the printers, it is being fed to the various currency chests and then on to the branches. But definitely 500 rupee note at this point of time is in short supply. But this will revert, and it is.
Are you 60% short? How much are you short, Ms. Bhattacharya? 50%, 60%, 20%? How much is it?
No, you cannot tell me how much it is, because people don't come and ask for 500. They come and ask for a particular amount of money, and we are able to give that money. There is no shortage there. If they ask for denominations, we don't keep record of how much denominations they are asking for. So it's difficult to ask me what is the shortage. The fact of the matter is that the supply is very low.
Okay, the next question is from Vipin Malik, former director in the Reserve Bank of India. Go ahead, Mr. Malik.
Ma'am, my only question one is that you must have lot of, since you are the largest bank, hospitals and lot of medical shops as your customers. And most of the complaints of the public is that the hospitals and these chemist shops are not taking the money. Why you could not appoint all these hospitals who are your customers and also the major chemist shops, government, non-government, private sector, as banking correspondents, or you could have sent the cash to them and said that please start taking deposits, whatever the currency a patient is giving, take it, and we will in return give you replenishment of that.
Okay.
You could have easily done that, so that could have avoided a lot of problems.
So there I would like to tell you that if you go to AIIMS today, if you go to the smaller hospitals today, you will already find a lot of our POS machines operating there. In fact, if you want a list of the hospitals where we are already having POS machines, we can furnish that as well. However, in the first 2 days, you must understand, it takes time for us also to react to any situation. Having said that, it's also a fact in this country where we have 350 million accounts. All of those account holders are also having ATM debit cards. Now, if they have ATM debit cards, there are very few hospitals which don't have POS machines. In fact, in the media, it was being shown somebody waving a debit card and saying there is no money in the ATM, how can I pay for my medicine? Now, that same ATM debit card would have enabled him to pay at a POS in the medicine shop itself. But your idea of a business correspondent, sir, we have already accepted, we have adopted, and a large number of business correspondents are currently in all of these locations. We have 470 mobile vans going and dispensing cash at various locations, be they in railway stations, in army cantonments, in hospitals, in all of these places we are sending out our mobile vans in order to dispense cash.
The next question is from Ashok Jha, former secretary in the Government of India, man who's helped make several budgets and understands the workings of the government. Go ahead, Mr. Jha.
Ma'am, I only have a very straightforward, simple question. It's now been 10 days since this demonetization of 1000 rupee and 500 rupee notes. How much money has been deposited by people in the State Bank of India, and how much money has State Bank of India disbursed in these last 10 days?
Sir, we have got, including exchange, around 1,40,000 crores, and we have disbursed around 26,000 crores.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, we'll take some Aam Aadmi questions. Yes, go ahead, please.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Ambaran. I want to ask a question that due to demonetization, that it takes India towards like a recession because the banks increase their CRR. So like the USA faced subprime loan crisis in 2008, like the Lehman Brothers, and they were like
So, ma'am, do you think growth numbers are going to come down? Do you think India's tag as the world's fastest growing economy is in jeopardy because of demonetization?
No, I don't think so. And actually speaking, it will take a little bit of time for us to get the growth numbers. It's just been a few days. Actually, banks have not even worked for 10 days. Out of that, one day we didn't work because we had to put together all of our infrastructure. And there was one other Sunday in between. Not a Sunday, it was, I think, a holiday in between. So that having been said, I don't think we are as yet at a point where we can actually assess the growth. However, let me tell you, on the fruits and vegetables front, we have already got some comfort that the sales in the largest mandis have not gone down by very much. It is in fact in the papers today that it is down by about 10%. We do know that the dealers of various commodities are complaining that the sub-dealers are not lifting their stocks. But I think, over the next few days, things will begin to rectify themselves. Mainly because we see a big uptick in digital transactions. Whereas on the POS, we were transacting only about 96 crores before the entire demonetization happened. Today, that amount has gone up to 215 crores on a daily basis. So obviously, people are beginning to look at digital as an option. It may not be an option that will be taken at even the very deep rural areas, but in very many areas this will come in. As a result of that, and further as a result of the 2000 rupee notes also coming out, I think over a period of time, whatever slowdown we have seen, that will rectify itself.
Next question is from Sanjay Singh. Go ahead, sir.
मैडम, एक न्यूज आज आई है अखबारों में कि मध्य प्रदेश के अंदर जनधन योजना के, प्रधानमंत्री जनधन योजना के जो खाते थे उसमें 5 दिनों में, प्राइम मिनिस्टर के अनाउंसमेंट के बाद 5 दिनों में 1200 करोड़ रुपए ब्लैक मनी को व्हाइट मनी किया गया। इसको रोकने के लिए बैंक के पास क्या व्यवस्था है? और दूसरा मेरा सवाल यह है कि 93% गांव इस देश के ऐसे हैं जहां पे बैंकिंग की सुविधा नहीं है, उनकी समस्याओं को एड्रेस करने के लिए आपके पास क्या व्यवस्था है?
ये लास्ट का क्वेश्चन मैं पहले एड्रेस करती हूँ। जैसे कि हम कहे हैं कि दूर दराज गाँव के लिए हम लोग 2-3 चीज कर रहे हैं। एक है कि हमारी जो मोबाइल वैन्स है वो जा रहे हैं इन गाँव में और जाके पैसा बांटने की व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं। दूसरी चीज है, हमारी अभी गाँव में 80,000 पॉस लगे हुए हैं जिनमें से आप पैसा ले सकते हैं। इनको माइक्रो एटीएम कहा जाता है। इनमें कैश जो देते हैं, जो वहाँ के कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट है या जिसके यहाँ पॉस लगा हुआ है, वो मैनुअली कैश देते हैं, लेकिन आपका कार्ड उस मशीन पे स्वाइप करना पड़ता है। तो इन सारे लोगों को भी हम लोग उत्साहित करने की प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि आपके पास कैश ना हो तो हम लोग आपको कैश देंगे, आप इस कैश की बंटवारा करिए। तीसरी चीज है, जितने हमारे बैंकिंग कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट्स है उनकी जो विड्रॉल लिमिट थी वो 10,000 से बढ़ा के 50,000 कर दी गई है और उनको भी हम लोग कह रहे हैं कि आप जितने से ज्यादा आपका जो ट्रांजैक्शन है इसको आप करिए। तो ये सारे तीनों चीज हम लोग एक तरीके से एकदम इसको फोकस कर रहे हैं, पुश कर रहे हैं, ताकि गांव में जहाँ पे दिक्कतें आ रही हैं वहां से हम लोग इसका हल कर सकें।
The first question is Bhattacharya. Yesterday, India Today ran an investigation, Jan Dhan to Kala Dhan. How Jan Dhan accounts were for sale, people were pumping black money into Jan Dhan accounts. that distorts the whole idea. If everybody starts pumping in money into these Jan Dhan accounts, a lot of the black money gets converted into white. India today in fact has run 5 investigations, one on chartered accountants, one on foreign exchange dealers, hawala operators, the cash spot trading market, real estate dealers, all of them finding ingenious ways of converting black money into white. Where does that leave the grand demonetization idea?
See, the fact of the matter is that in our bank, we have not seen such a huge uptick as is being made out. Yes, there is an uptick of around 2,000 crores in the general accounts we have, but we have, remember, 10 crore accounts. So therefore, we have to check also to see how it has been used. If they have been misused, then obviously, action will be taken against these account holders. With the BC, there are a lot of restrictions as to how much money can be put into a general account. So these people must have actually come into the branches, deposited money, and then maybe withdrawn money. So we are looking at the analysis of this. It's difficult for me to give you any clear idea at this point of time. But in our books, the general deposit balances on an average have gone up by only 200 rupees. So we need to look at it. We need to look at it and then have a look to see. And again, not every account is activated. The amount of inactive accounts also remains almost similar. So more than 30%, around 32% of the accounts are inactive.
There are reports coming in, ma'am, that there will be no note exchange tomorrow. Can you confirm that for us, please? Is that correct?
Actually, the idea is that tomorrow there should be a normal working day. I think IBA has been working on this, but in all probability, the idea is that our regular customers have been complaining that they are not even able to get into the branches and get their work done because most of the counters are busy only in exchange of cash. So I think the idea that was there amongst the bankers is that we need to have one day on which we can attend to our regular customers. Some of them have urgent jobs to be done, and we need that breathing time in order to get their jobs done before the exchange is resumed again on Monday.
That's the story we are breaking now. The SBI chief confirming that there will be no exchange of notes tomorrow. So what happens to all those who've been queuing in line unsuccessfully in the hope that they'll be able to get their notes changed? Also, ma'am, we've seen how a lot of laborers are being sent by industrialists to go stand in the line, get their black money converted into white. So a lot of this jugaad mechanics is working in overtime.
I think, that kind of an abuse has already come to a very low level. First of all, I think the use of the indelible ink has been a big help in this matter. And second of all, by reducing the amount of exchange that can be done to 2,000, the government has ensured only those who really need it come for the exchange. The rest of it, I don't think at this point of time there is any doubt at all that this channel was getting misused. But currently, I think the amount of abuse has come down.
RPN Singh has a question for you, Ms. Bhattacharya. Go ahead, RPN.
Ma'am, I might have huge problems with how the government has demonetized the currency, but I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you, the bank employees of SBI, and all the bank employees who have done a tremendous job in trying to get over
They do deserve a round of applause. Ma'am, the last 10 days...
people of this country are facing because of the government.
One second, ma'am, have the last 10 days been the toughest 10 days of your banking life, Ms. Bhattacharya?
Probably. I have very tough days otherwise also, but these have really been very challenging. But let me also tell you, these have also been very satisfying days. Because at the end of the day, the amount of cooperation and collaboration we have got from our customers who have stood patiently in line. Some of them have taken money and thereafter not gone away. They have helped us in our work by going and explaining things to people in the queue. The amount of cooperation we have got from them is absolutely stunning, and we deeply appreciate it. So also for my colleagues, I must say that we have risen magnificently to this occasion. There are people in certain states who have not had a single day off because they didn't have the Guru Nanak Jayanti. They are working constantly for the last so many days. Most of us go home very late in the night and we are back again in our office by about 9 in the morning.
So RPN had some good words. He had a compliment and now he's got some criticism and some questions. Go ahead, please.
I'm not criticizing. I just want you to let the country know, in the coming months, do you see small savings interest rates coming down drastically?
Well, small savings rates will come down. They will come down mainly not only because of demonetization, but because inflation has come down. When inflation is at around 4.5%, there is no other way but to bring the rates down. But I would again request depositors to understand that rates are relative to inflation. If inflation is at 4.5% and you are getting 6%, that means you are still having a real interest of 1.5%. Whereas if rates are at 9% and you are having inflation of 11%, you are having a negative interest. That is, you are not getting anything from that at all. Your purchasing power is decreasing. Therefore, we must understand rates of interest not in the absolute terms, but in relation to inflation.
But Ms. Bhattacharya, before we end and let you go, there was this other point that RPN made, which was a very interesting political point. His charge is that RBI data shows that the level of deposits coming into all banks, including yours, in the last quarter, before demonetization was announced, was higher than previous quarters. Earlier, there was a downward slope. Suddenly, in the last third quarter, there was an upward trend. His charge is that did people in the banking system know? Did customers know? Did the government tip off people? He wants to know how were deposits going down till the previous quarter. Suddenly in the third quarter, before this big announcement, deposits jumped up. Ms. Bhattacharya.
So I think, one of the reasons why the deposits jumped up was on account of the pay commission and also because of the OLOP. Because of these two things, deposits normally do come in. So I am not able to understand whether there is anything beyond that. At this point of time, to tell you the truth, we have been too busy trying to ensure that everything works, to really go deep into it and to make an analysis account by account. But let me tell you, deposits do go up whenever a pay commission award is given or whenever something like the OLOP comes in, because people get money at one point of time and obviously that is not spent immediately and therefore deposits go up.
Ma'am, the question I'm saying from SBI, in the last quarter you had 1% growth. In this quarter, you have 4% growth. We have other banks who are down to -2%. Their deposits have gone up by 6.7%. So there has to be a vagary. Why only in the third quarter? I know the finance minister explained it's because of the 7th pay commission, but that is only 36,000 crores. The figures don't match. That's my question, ma'am.
Actually, as I told you, I have not really done a quarter by quarter growth pattern to see how it has happened. You also have to see whether the last year there was such a growth pattern. You also have to check to see whether the quarter before there was any particular reason for deposits to go down sharply, so that when deposits reverted to normal, it is showing as a very big growth. So analysis has to be done on this. It's difficult to give an answer without actually analyzing all of these numbers.
Answered several questions, and I'm glad that you came on the show, took questions from politicians, from experts, from journalists, and also from the Aam Aadmi. Arundhati Bhattacharya, thank you very much for joining us, and once again a warm round of applause for the SBI chief, all bankers. I come from a family of bankers, and all my chachas have been in their banks all through, working really hard. And that really is something that needs to be appreciated. They may like the decision, they may not like the decision, that's on the side. Just as professional bankers, they've all been toiling, and that I think is worthy of appreciation. Thank you all so much for joining us, and thanks also to all our guests for joining us on this town hall. Thank you.